The Pinball Network is online. Launching.
Triple Drain Pinball Podcast.
All right. I think we're good. Yeah. Travis, you're pointing. You can hear me? Travis, you good? Please don't act like you can't hear me.
Of course I can hear you, Joel. We just did sound checks before we even hit the button.
But I would not put it past you for
Joel, I'm ready.
away.
Wait,
Joel,
I
I'm
see
ready.
him. Dude, you're in the comfy too, man.
I'm ready.
You are.
I'm ready.
You're ready to go.
I'm
All right.
in the zone tonight. Let's do this.
Wonderful. Tom, you ready? Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Hell
Travis.
yeah.
Tom, I'm glad you're ready, man. Appreciate it. Well, yeah, here we go.
We're three guys who like to talk pinball, so we came up with a clever name. We're Joel and Travis Scott who talk pinball, and we call ourselves Triple Drain, Triple Drain, Triple Drain. We're Triple Drain.
Triple Drain.
Well, I got to give it to us. Oh crap, Travis, what? I see your hands in the air.
Joel,
You're
what is
muted.
going on? I'm not
What?
muted. I'm not muted. I know you can hear me. Okay, Tom and I, we are freaking fired up. Tom's brought the soundboard. We danced during the intro, and you're just sitting there with your arms crossed, just like staring daggers
He has to deal with
at
us
something.
two idiots.
Yeah,
every
like,
time.
Just keep it professional. No,
Like,
what I
what's
was
going on?
noticing was I looked at the time and it's 9:29. We said we were going to record at 9:30. Somehow the three of us all showed up at 9:22 with working equipment. We had the shortest pre-show conversation we've ever had.
Oh, I
looked-
get it.
Yeah.
I understand now why you're upset you didn't get to make fun of me for like 15 minutes before we started recording.
No,
That's
yeah,
what
Tom
it is.
and I really just want to start recording without you. And now you're showing up on time. You're actually ready to go. I don't know what's going on, but 24 episodes, Travis. I'm glad you finally figured it out. So congrats, man. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, last time we recorded, the three of us all recorded in the same room, Travis was ripping them on my bed. It was, it was good. He
was physically eating on your bed.
Yeah. Crumbs galore. No, it was a good time. Cleepin was a good time. What was funny is we recorded, everybody left. I was still awake. I was like, I'm going to start editing this. And when you're immediately listening to a conversation you just had, I got about halfway through and I'm like, what am I doing? It's 1:30 in the morning. So I stopped, woke up the next day, finished editing it that day, which was a Sunday morning. And I think Zach actually had it uploaded like later that day, which is pretty awesome. So props to Zach for doing that. That was a good time. It was a good time recording in person. The audio quality sucked, but it was still an enjoyable experience. Props to Ray Day for just showing up at the hotel and yeah, there we go, and giving his 2 cents. And then holy crap, how long? And then Monica
I
stole
forgot
the show.
I had to hit the button again.
Yeah, Monica stole the show right at the end. So way to bring her into that there, Travis. So yeah.
Hey, that was your
And
mortal
are you
enemy
gonna-
apparently last weekend.
Yeah.
Are you going to congratulate Travis?
Well, I was just saying
Yeah.
this now that's done.
Thank you, Tom.
That was
Yeah.
Saturday
I
night.
appreciate it. That's why you're my favorite one.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey, I'm
thank
top
you.
3. So
Yes.
Sunday,
Yes, you are.
Sunday rolled around, and me and Tom, we're just there to be supportive and have a great time. Neil was still in it. Travis. So we're talking about Cleepin. This is the Cleveland Pinball Expo. There was a tournament there. Travis had made finals. Neil got out first round. I mean,
Well,
No,
yeah,
it's
it was
second-
quarterfinals.
the
second round, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
quarterfinals.
he had a bye.
But so he went in. Unfortunately, yeah, he
So
got out.
What was strange about that is he was actually driving the bus, but he was in a tiebreaker with Shannon Stafford. Hey, Shannon. But the weird thing is in that tournament is your tiebreakers. You don't get to pick. It's
Yep.
just random draw. So Kiss got picked. Neil was like, well, okay, but I would have picked something else. And then he ended up losing.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a few tiebreakers, and I remember that even the day before there was a tiebreaker, and everybody was surprised, like, wait, what? Not the
Right.
highest seed. The highest seed isn't picking. They literally ran a random number generator. It spit out a number, and they're like, oh, you're playing Turtles. So
Yeah, I
that-
mean, I could see that for something where, the tournament is random draw the entire time, but when you're the bus driver, you should be the bus driver.
Yeah,
I
at a
agree.
Herb event, especially if it's a Stern Pro Circuit event, I would much rather have somebody be the bus driver because they earned it. They played skillfully the whole time to get there, and they deserve to have that advantage. So to
But
me, yeah,
I'm not-
I do not like the random number
Right.
generator.
But not taking anything away from Shannon because he played amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the format. So just
That way you don't end up on
consideration
Cosmos.
for people right. For
Yeah.
people
Which-
considering running tournaments, it's just something to think about in the future.
Well, Tom, isn't Free Play Florida? They're still running, from my understanding, because we had a bunch of competitive players just text us this past weekend, or maybe right before this past weekend, talking about the Free Play Florida format.
Right.
So it looks like apparently they're still going to do what they did last year, which is it's reverse ordered finish. So,
Right.
Joel, what that means is if you take last in your
Mhm.
group, you get to pick the game the very next
So they
time.
try to like even the playing field every round.
It's just,
Yeah.
well, yeah, and it just doesn't make any sense because it encourages you to actually lose. Like you might have to actually lose on purpose. I've been in a
Oh,
tournament
yeah,
before
yeah.
to where after winning the first game and I had a bad first ball, I was just like, why is there any point to playing this out and trying to scratch and claw my way to a second or third place when I could just go ahead and just wait and just get my game picked for game 3? And so, I mean, it looks like they're going to do this again.
It's a risky strat.
It is, but at the same time, though, the ability to be able to pick your game because you're picking that game because you believe you can win.
Mhm.
That's the reason why you're picking it. So it's just kind of one of those things that I'm very surprised that format is still going to take place again. And so just like Tom and I were talking about a second ago with Clepen, I mean, it's if you're the bus driver, let people be the bus driver. But whenever you're in a Herb event, I personally don't see any value in making it reversed order finish because then it's just, to me, it's just you take away hours upon hours of qualifying. You take away any incentive to be a bus driver. You take away any incentive to really be a high qualifier, because there's still incentive to, even if you're not the first seed in your group, to be the second seed in your group, since
Yeah.
you usually get to choose, your position next.
Yeah.
So
I remember we talked about this on a previous episode that I doubt you ever want to be in a tournament where you're deciding whether or not you want to play well or not.
Right.
If it's in a situation, I mean, yeah, you don't want to see anybody literally throw in their hat like, I'm done with this game. Like, I'm purposely sucking at this game so that I have an advantage next game. Like, that just seems kind of counterproductive. But no, there was a lot that I learned, not only participating in the tournament, but also watching the tournament. And one thing that I've always been impressed by when watching tournament streams was, in my mind, I'm like, how are these guys so good at these games? They can just step up to these games and they just know the shots. They can just play them. What I totally didn't take into account was, Travis, you're in finals on Sunday. You got there Thursday. So essentially from all day Thursday, all day Friday, most of the day Saturday, you're playing the same 9 games over and over and over again. So you guys are learning that game. You're understanding that game. So it's not like you're walking up fresh. I mean, you know that game, over the course of playing it so many times, so that when finals comes around, it is very clear. If Carlos had top seed, we know what Carlos is going to pick based off of the killer scores that he was putting up on Attack from Mars. While Travis, you had the number 1 spot in Quicksilver for days. So it's like, okay, if Travis actually had the choice to pick a game, he's probably going to take Quicksilver because he had the number 1 score that nobody was able to beat until the very end. That's a whole nother thing that we can get into. But
damn you, Teolis.
Yeah. But I that's something that just from an outside observer, I didn't realize. It is very clear that normally, as the days goes on, everybody gravitates towards certain games that they become more comfortable with. You guys know this. So if you're picking against another, particular opponent, you're probably going to, do you want to pick the game you want, or do you want to pick a game they don't want? And there's way more strategy there than I think I'd ever given you guys credit for. So that was pretty cool. But hey, I got to give it to you, Travis. Come Sunday, Tom, myself, Neil, we're all just observers. Monica, we're all rooting you on, watching. And yeah, you made it really far. So I don't know if you want to kind of, I don't know, talk about that. But yeah, your Sunday experience.
I mean, it was fun in general. I hate taking second place though. That's
Yeah.
I think the second time this year in the Stern Pro Circuit event I took second. So I've never won one. That's like in the feels, Joel. It's totally in the feels. Like I really want to win very badly, but the reality is Carlos, he just played outstanding. I mean, it's like when you walk up and you are at like 8 billion on ball 3 on Attack from Mars and you're in third place.
Yeah.
At the time, it's like, okay, everybody there can play at that point. Anybody that makes finals can play, but especially just like you were talking about before, when everybody has the opportunity to play the same games over and over and over again, you get dialed in to the bounces, to the tilts, to understanding where all the shots are. I mean, it makes for a very fun and competitive environment. It makes it a lot more fun knowing that you have to blow up a game more times than not in order to survive that format. Because if you're playing a match play tournaments, random draw, everything, you may not have to blow something up, because then oftentimes people are going in cold. They may not know the bounces, what have you. But when you're dealing with tournaments like this, and you could even see this if you watch the UK Open. And I think this even happened at Pinball at the Lab, which was interesting because that wasn't a herb, but at the same time, they've got to play those games. And so you get to know the bounces, you get to figure out what you want to do. And so, yeah, it just makes for a much more fun finals, in my opinion. And I like that. I like the atmosphere of knowing, okay, this player's picking this game because they believe they can win at that game. Mm-hmm. And the rest of us got to try to play catch up. And, that's what's fun about it. And that's what makes competitive pinball a lot of fun.
Well, what I thought was fun was come Saturday when you're like, I've got to get in, all of a sudden you shifted to Corvette. You were just focused on Corvette. You were like, I got to get that up. So all of a sudden you just are playing Corvette and you blew it up. Like you blew it up and you're like, done. I'm done. Let's go to dinner. I'm good. So I thought it was funny that come the next day, it was like, you just dominated on Corvette. Anytime that you guys played Corvette, you just blew it up. And it was just one of those like, okay, don't mess with Travis on Corvette. Got it. Just like Los was blowing up Attack from Mars. Everybody starts, really honing in on certain games, which is pretty incredible.
Well, it's one of those things too, and Tom can attest to this, that qualifying, you realize that you have space to make mistakes. Like it's okay. You can requeue. And I myself, I made a crazy tactical mistake all weekend long playing the way that I did in qualifying. I talked to some other people about this, about the choices I was making and just basically how my approach was. I decided to change it up a little bit. Now I'm going to go back to the way I did things originally, because it cost me. It cost me getting into classics, and then it cost me a great position in Maine to where I was down towards the bottom. So I don't want to do that anymore. But Tom can test this, that after qualifying, when you get into finals, then that's when you have to turn it on, because you got no more requeues, you got no more voids. You have to put up a score, and you have to be strategic, you have to be skillful, and you have to understand where you want to go with the game. You understand what the game's going to give you at that point. And so what your plan of attack is going into there. And oftentimes it might shift too. If somebody puts up a crazy ball 1, it might shift a little bit, but that's what all goes into it, that your mindset just changes and you want to get the win.
Well, I mean, now that I'm a tournament player, I totally understand what you're saying. I can really relate to you. And I mean, my tournament experience, yes, it is me versus all the other people, but it just felt like it was me versus the game. And every time that I finished, I was just like, I can do better. And so you want to buy another ticket, you want to try again. And sure, I was comparing numbers specifically against Monica. I just picked one name that I knew that was on the list that I felt like I could pass. And it was a lot of fun, but I'll be very curious next time I have a chance to play a tournament and actually go head to head, because for you to have an amazing, ball 2 on Corvette, now all of a sudden everybody is changing and trying to adapt to try to and it's you versus the game, but it is very much you versus the other people. So congrats on the second finish. I think it is funny. Monica had finished third the night before. So I know we were joking around. It's like, he better finish third or above, or it's going to be a weird ride home. So I mean, well done, sir. Well done. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, kind sir. I appreciate
He
it.
just
did a
did
fist pump. Yeah,
Yep.
for all the listeners.
No,
Yeah.
I was tipping my cap.
Oh, that's an aggressive tip.
You know,
Jeez.
well,
Yeah.
you know, I'm an aggressive guy, Joel. You know this. Well, I apologies to all the white knights out there for Joel Rogan. I was not meaning any violence towards him just now. I was just tipping my cap.
We're still
at
worried
him.
about We're still okay. We've had a lot of conversations about that. The reality is we enjoy poking fun at each other. We understand though that we should let the other person finish what they're saying before we interrupt with our hilarious quip, because I know we're also witty.
No, you for all those out there keeping score at home, I know some of y'all don't realize this, but read the titles to our podcast.
Yeah, they're all hilarious.
Yes.
Most of them might be at your expense, but they're all hilarious. Okay?
Exactly.
Hey,
Most
if
of
the
them
two of
might
you
make
guys,
fun of me,
typically what happens is I edit the podcast and I'm like, I want this done, I want it out, and I take all of about 10 seconds to think of an episode name. So if the two of you want to, submit a thought, towards the episode title, I'll listen. I may not type it in, but I'll listen.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So there we go. So Cleepin, it was an amazing tournament experience. Congrats to Carlos. I mean, he blew it up. He had a great weekend. It was a lot of fun. Really cool seeing those people. And shout out to Chuck Wirt and his crew streaming the thing. It was fantastic. So all around good time.
We got to mention this weekend was the UK Pinball Open. And what a freaking amazing tournament Neil McRae put on in London. We're going to give him some applause right now.
There we go. Unfortunately, I had not had a chance to watch that, but that will be something I will have on the third monitor this week as I work. But it should be a good time. So, moving right along to number 2, James Bond, the Bond 007. We still don't know the official. I don't think we know the official name of the game, but it was officially announced. So I know we discussed this when we were at Cleepin. It was announced that Thursday, the Thursday later. And basically what the announcement involved was a bunch of high-res photos and a pro featurette, a premium featurette, an LE featurette, and that's it. We don't have any other, we don't have anything else from Stern. No announcement on when the game will be streamed. There was a Stern Insider podcast that was a good time. Listen to that. Highly encourage that. But it's been weird. It's been like from, for Tom and I, it's been one thing, like how interested are this game? Is this a game that I'd potentially buy? Travis, it's been a whole nother experience now that you work for a distributor. Is this your first game reveal since you've been with the pinball company?
Yep.
So how was it now being on the other side? How'd that feel?
Stressful. These past couple of weeks, it's been really stressful just from the, I guess the initial release getting delayed and then all these leaks getting out and then, not really having, it doesn't feel like we've had an official, I guess, an official reveal, even though it technically was, just because everything's just been so discombobulated this whole entire time. Like my camera going out.
Yep.
We'll
Elgato, no signal. There he is. There he is.
No, so it's been interesting. It's one of those things that it's definitely, it's been bumpy. Let's just put it that way. And so we're just kind of like all the other dealers, just kind of waiting back and seeing, okay, they put it out there that the Elwyn game is coming, but we don't know what it looks like besides the one leak that got out. And I say leak, I don't even know if somebody grabbed that from the James Bond website or if they released it. I'm so confused at this point with what's what that I'm just in a sit and wait. And let's just see what ends up coming out next.
Apparently Google found it. Like there's some smart people on Pinside, but they literally messed around with the filters on Google and found a way to they were basically searching for photos on, I think it's 007.com or it's like 007fans.com or something. That's where the first 2 high-res image leaks came from of the Pro and Premium. And they were just messing around with filters and all of a sudden, boom, there's a picture of the Keith Elwyn 40th game. Now, or 60th game. Now, what I think's funny is I was doing a stream. So this came out on a Wednesday. That Wednesday night on the Pinball Network, I was doing every other Wednesday. I do a chatting stream, and we're going to go in and talk about Bond. Well, like an hour before we started that chatting stream, that picture shows up. So we're all just trying to wrap our heads around it, and we're really like, is this for real? Is this? And from what I heard, it's like, yeah, they pulled it straight from the site that they pulled the other photos from. So here we are in my stream chatting about it. It was me, Craig Bobby, Hottie with Frisco Pinball, and David Dennis. So the four of us were all talking about Bond, and we started saying a few one of the things in the podcast, that the Stern Insider podcast that they announced, Gomez was talking about having score reels in the back box, and we're like, okay, that's crazy.
Score reels.
Score reels, manual score reels in the back box. Yes. Well, this picture, you're looking at the picture and it just looks like a standard Stern cabinet, and then in the little LCD screen, it showed on the LCD screen score reels, and we're like, are they literally making digital score reels? Like, what is going on? Well, then out of nowhere, I look over in the chat, and whose name do I see? I see Keith Elwin. Keith Elwin has appeared in our chat, and he said, does that look real? And then he's like, look at the start button and the coin insert buttons. I was like, what? And you look at the photo, the start button is blank and the coin insert buttons are blank. And it's like, he goes, does that look real? And so that was kind of a straight from him, basically, like, he didn't say it, but he was basically saying, like, this is not, I don't think the image is like
bitch slapped by Keith Elwin.
I think he just steered us in the right direction. And he's basically, what I'm guessing is that's a mock-up. I totally think it's a mock-up. So I don't know if we can trust the artwork. My guess is, and Keith actually reached out to me later. He's like, the score reels are mechanical. Like there are going to be score mechanical. So I don't know if that means the entire back box is going to look different, or if they're going to stick to the standard form factor, but instead of having an LCD monitor, they'll have something else physically in that same spot to show the score reels. Don't know, but I would just say the one photo that's out there that is going around, I know for a fact it's not 100% accurate, and that's straight from Keith Elwin, which is pretty incredible. So I don't know. With that said, though, where are you guys at with that? Are you guys? It seems like a lot of people, they want anything and everything Elwin. So are you excited about it, but also because of the worry of the price point? Are you trying not to get your hopes up too much? Or I don't know. What are your thoughts on the Keith Elwin 60th game?
I'm excited. One of my friends is getting one.
Oh, okay. Is that a fact? Like, for a fact
that is a fact, Joel.
Fact. Okay. Is District 82 getting one, or is that?
No, God, no.
God, okay. All right.
They got to keep police force.
And then Travis.
I think I'll be out on the 60th edition just because of rumors of price.
$30,000 or something crazy.
It
could be anything. Yeah.
It sounds like there's no set price for it right now.
Yeah.
From my understanding, but I think this is going to be very Elvira 40th edition.
Yeah, and if
Elvira's prices are going to be all over the board.
But I saw right now on Facebook, there's 2 new in-box Elviras that are set at like $20,000. So you're $21,000 even used. So if that's a bar, I think there's good chances Elwin game's going to be 25. I don't know, Travis, from a distributor standpoint, are you like, how do you even, I don't know, you don't have to go too far into it, but it's like, how do you even prepare for that?
I would sell the game for $100,000 if I could.
Okay.
Yeah. I like money, yeah. Joel.
So, right. three Stern Pros for an Elvira 40th edition.
Well, yeah, it's a good game.
The thing is, the pricing for the next Elwin game that's coming out, that's the 60th anniversary. We have no idea. Yeah. There's no information yet or anything like that. I'm sure that information will start coming out soon enough whenever they reveal the game in full. But right now we have very little information on it. Besides that, it's obviously probably going to be pricey. If there's not that many units and it's a 60th anniversary and it's being touted as the 4th tier of this game, or the 4th version, I guess you could say. It wouldn't shock me if that price point does push above $20,000. But that being said, I have no clue what it looks like. Nothing more than what you guys have talked about here.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I would say, I mean, the reveal came out on Thursday, and what did they really do? I would say the videos. It was great seeing high res pictures. It was great seeing some high res video and seeing some of the shots, and it answered a few questions overall. And then we actually saw the LE. I think the LE, I like the colors that are used in that. The powder coating's cool, but it was a surprise that gold finger was not the game. So, but then in the Stern Insider Connected podcast, George basically was like, well, depending on sales, maybe Goldfinger would happen. So everybody's hearing that. They're like, all right, they're going to do just like Elvira 40th edition, where a year down the road, boom, here's another LE version that's gold. It's like, are they? And so the people are already annoyed or upset about that, even the concept of the potential of something like that. But I don't know. I know I'm not. I mean, I'm just kind of I'm hoping Zach with Flipping Out's going to get me a pro that I can stream. I'm looking forward to playing that. Tom, I know you said you're in on a pro
from Zach.
Yeah,
we're going to route it at Lumberjack Johnny's.
There you go.
Woo.
So, and then I mean, Travis, you're saying they're selling, but it's been a weird reveal. It's just been a weird reveal.
I mean, here's the reality of it. I firmly believe right now there's a lot of customers out there that are very confused just because it hasn't been the normal reveal. And so those of us that are firmly in the pinball community online, just, consuming all of that, we're kind of more in tune with, all right, this isn't the normal cadence of the way that Stern puts something out. It just feels like there's just a lot of bumps right now and everything. So when you're trying to market this game to people outside the industry, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of strange because, it's like, hey, here's the game, it's been revealed, but hey, the game's not going to be available for you for a few months from now. And now it all of a sudden went from, well, home buyers wouldn't be able to get their pros till April to all of a sudden now it's been slammed back up to the first run. So that's why,
what's up with that?
Well,
it's just, it's confusing. And there's been, and I could understand some people's complaints out there that they are confused with what's going on because, there's a 4th tier game coming. They don't know when they're going to get their pro. They don't know when the premiums will be out. They don't know if there will be another delay. It's a crazy time right now. And this isn't the normal release that we've seen before. And that much is apparent. So my only thing is with James Bond, me personally, I don't know the theme at all. Like I've watched maybe now 2 or 3 minutes on YouTube of what James Bond is.
Nice.
So I'm very much not in tune with the theme. So I couldn't even tell you until I start doing my research if this matches up with what the movies are. I don't know. Have you two watched James Bond before?
Not this era of James Bond. But what I will say is,
you've
like
seen
I said
the
earlier,
Roger Moore stuff, haven't you?
No, I'm definitely, I think the first one I saw was like, what was a Goldeneye and everything after that. So,
okay.
But what I will say is, when I did the stream, I had David Dennis on, and he is actually like a huge James Bond fan. And so he was like, no, this is very, it's very clear. Every bit of art that you're seeing was pulled straight from movie posters. They have assets. It is very authentic to the Sean Connery James Bond. So if you happen to be a huge fan of the Sean Connery James Bond, this is perfect, or you're loving every bit of it. So I don't know. I would say the official reveal, or what we've seen from Stern so far, was fine. It answered some questions, but still, it's weird though. Like Godzilla came out, and if you hadn't placed an order within the first, 48 hours, you're waiting a year plus before you're going to get your game. And Rush, it was a similar thing. Like I felt like there was this rush essentially to, you've got to commit ASAP or else you're going to be waiting forever. But it's just weird. Like right now, it's this weird thing of, I think everybody's going to wait. Everybody's waiting until, I don't know when. The initial thing was a pro run in April, but then George Gomez on Facebook was like, I don't think that's accurate. So how much truth is, I don't know. And we're in a holding pattern. And, but what I would say, we're waiting for a stream, but we did get a video. I think it was Pinball News or something had a video. Yeah. And it was how long was it? It was kind of long.
It's 25 minutes long.
25 minutes, but It was one ball, wasn't it?
No. Whoever was playing it, they played a game, I guess, in the first 6 or 8 minutes, and they put up a GC of a little over $1 billion within 6 to 8 minutes, if I remember right. And then they started another game afterwards.
So this was actually, it wasn't the best camera angle. It looks like a camera was kind of held, shoulder kind of above. You could see both the back, the scoreboard and
this
the
is totally
LCD.
like old school.
Yeah.
Tom Graf is on YouTube 15 years ago.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
There you go. And you could hear it. And so I don't know. Travis, I think you were like, I watched it all. What were your initial impressions of what you saw from that video?
So I'll say this, when it comes to code and everything, I mean, Lonnie's on the code. I believe Mike is there with him. And historically speaking, we know what's happened with the last 2 games that Lonnie was on. When it comes to Stranger Things and it comes to Guardians, those games did not come out with any type of fleshed out code. They had a long ways to go. And Lonnie eventually got there with it. Guardians is a fun game. Stranger Things is a very fun game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of, when I realized that they were on this game, I went into this with the expectations that, okay, the code probably won't be as far along as some of the other games we're used to seeing. I mean, when it comes to an Elwyn game, we're used to it being fleshed out more than usual, more than the normal release. When it comes to a Tim Sexton and Raymond Davidson game, we're used to it being fleshed out a little bit more. So my expectations, just based on the history, are in check with that. But then I've also heard different people comparing this to Godzilla. I mean, I think Kerry Hardy put out a video comparing it to Godzilla. And now I've heard others starting to talk about that as well. And I don't know if they're seeing a completely different game than me. I don't know if we just have different taste in gameplay, but I look at this game and I don't believe it's on a Godzilla tier. I wish it was. I wish every game was Godzilla tier because my kids' college would be paid for by next month. I mean, I wish. But, so just being in reality right now, when I look at the layout, it's an intriguing layout to me. And I think we talked about this based off the very first pictures that we saw, that I had told you guys, I felt like the left side was kind of awkward for me just because you don't know where that left shot underneath the flipper, where that was going. And it's really not going anywhere except for rebounding into that scoop eject, right?
Yep.
So it's like a backward scoop thing. And then the left orbit shot is your ramp shot, which I generally like that shot. But my big worry for that is, well, when you start having flipper fade, are you going to get half ramps? And sure as shit, that's what we saw in the video, that there started being half ramps. So I don't know. That could be game setup. It could be flipper fade. I don't know what that is. But the left side does concern me a little bit just because it doesn't seem like that there's much there compared to the right side. But again, you're just looking at design. That's I'm sure a code can put that together and give you a reason to start going after drops, give you a reason to go up the middle a little bit more. But the right side, though, I'm very intrigued by that. I love that there's a shot in between the side ramp and the right ramp. Like, I love that, especially considering it goes all the way around orbit-wise.
Like orbit, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a badass shot. So it's just, I'm curious to see how different people play this game, though, because it's so left-hand dominant, and that's usually people's offhand.
Yeah.
How are they going to approach those shots on the right-hand side? But
I think they're going to miss them.
Well, after watching this, the ball doesn't drain.
Yep.
Did you guys notice that? The ball
Yeah, it
hardly
looks like they
ever
got Ray
drains.
Day to freaking film this. I mean,
Maybe they did.
Maybe they did. Yeah, they flew him over. No, it's
Well, even the initial video, it wasn't draining. Whoever shot that initial video, they weren't hitting any shots. But yet it was like there was magnets in the playfield that refused to let the ball go to out lanes, which is that's crazy to me. But that's the way it seemed like.
Well, I definitely say a key fundamental that I feel like I learned way late is as soon as you introduce horizontal movement on the playfield, that's when the ball's in danger. So to me, it was like I never had to worry about using an upper flipper and to shoot a ball across the playfield until I realized after watching a few streams and hearing some people be like, dude, don't take that shot unless you have to, because that's a dangerous shot. And it's very clear that the layout, there's a lot to shoot horizontally with that upper flipper. So I know initially we kind of had some conversations of this could be a brick fest or this could be a very dangerous shooter because even the scoop on the left, you're hitting left and falls in the scoop. We're like, where's that going to shoot? If that thing shoots just straight across the playfield, that could put you in danger. So it was surprising that this first stream that we're seeing seems to be the exact opposite, where this seems to be a very safe game. So I see what you're saying, and I still, it's a unique layout. I'm really excited to shoot the thing, but so I would say, okay, at least there wasn't anything there that was like awful that I saw. The artwork I like in the high res photos that I've seen. The artwork's actually grown on me a lot. I'm starting to really enjoy the playfield artwork. But I will say there were two things that really stood out to me watching this stream, and it was
The
the
Bond
LCD
ladies.
screen. What?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, the Bond ladies. Yes. No, it wasn't quite. The camera angle really didn't zoom too well into those inserts, but no, it was the LCD. What was on the LCD screen, and then the audio. And just talking about the LCD screen, it seems very early in code. Like, I know Stern with Stern Insider Connect is all about putting 4 scores on the bottom. So you have that, but it's just black boxes. And then pretty much the entire time was just Bond video just going. And then they had the left side of the screen. Every time you'd hit the diamond spinner, it was just diamonds flickering. And then every time on the right side of the screen, if you hit the pop bumper, it was like bubbles popping. So I heard a lot of bubbles popping, and I heard a lot of a very annoying diamond sound, and then the James Bond tune for 28 minutes. So all I can hope is this is just super early on. Maybe it was like, we've got to get something so this is playable when we have it at that show that it was supposed to be at. But it just, I mean, the more that I've played or the longer I've streamed, I realize how little I actually look at the LCD screen. So that games that have a great LCD screen or a great layout, to me, like Rush actually has a fantastic, shout out to Ray Day, because when you look up, you know exactly where the information is that you need to see. So as you're playing, you look up, boom, I know what's going on with that, or I know what's going on. How far am I? Boom, boom, boom. The layout there is wonderful. Well done. But this game is just like, I don't know. I'm not excited, at least where the code is right now, but that is something where they absolutely have time to improve on that. And then, I went on a rant about how I felt about the Woody spinner and the Bo Peep loops bell. Man, that diamonds like in the bubbles. I mean, it's just, please. I really hope. I don't know. Thoughts on that? Thoughts on that?
No, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's definitely something's got to change with that. I think it's one of those things that, okay, so since people are comparing this to Godzilla, let's go ahead and go there then. Whenever we talk about the Godzilla callouts, we all celebrate how quirky it is and how campy it is. Like, shoot the whamps. Like,
shoot the whamps.
Yeah, that's my spirit animal. I mispronounce words all the time. So that's awesome right there. You want things that endear you to the game. And whenever you're looking at James Bond and you get that diamond sound over and over and over again, I don't know. I don't know if that's an audio thing. It's hard to tell off the video. It's very hard to tell at this point. But yeah, it's the bubbles and stuff like that, I'm not really into. I don't know. Maybe diamonds and bubbles are a big thing with James Bond. I mean, I'm guessing they take a lot of bubble baths or something. Like, what am I missing?
There was an
here?
Underwater scene. I don't, but no, I don't.
Is that what it is?
I don't think popping bubbles is yeah.
It's just one of those things. It's obvious that it's very early code. The problem is that whenever you're dealing with very early code, it takes you out of what a game should entirely be, because there's all these things that have to come together to make that game just go. And we're talking design, we're talking shots, we're talking sound, we're talking giving you a reason why I'm hitting this shot, given that feedback, the audio feedback to you that, hey, this is a jackpot, hey, this is the perfect shot to hit. All those things really come together. And the reality is looking back again, when we look back at the history of everything, none of us really got that from Stranger Things. I mean, Tom, you probably remember this. Indisc 2020. That was the first time. I
remember this.
Yep. Yeah. First time we all got to play Stranger Things. Yep. And there was a lot of people playing at once and just being like, I have no clue what I just played.
Yep.
Like it just, and it gave that vibe. And Guardians, the same thing happened. And this is back in, I think, 2017 at this point, or late or early 2018, somewhere right around there. But we all remember like the Yondu, where he's like a blue, 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 blue,
The Bobly Bobo.
yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, it's like, okay, guys, we we have to figure this out here. But yeah, that's what's concerning with this. And I see this game clear as day. It's definitely following that trajectory right now, which it could be good, could be bad, depending on the way you look at it. Because again, Guardians and Stranger Things ended up getting very well fleshed out. I mean, Stranger Things got multiple code updates over the years. And so
big updates,
yeah. And I could see this game definitely following that pattern as well, since it's the same team behind this. But again, as much money as these games command right now, the last thing that you want is the software to be lagging behind the design. That's the very last thing that you want in order to push this product out, in order to get it out quickly and efficiently. And at the same time, too, if Stern's going to keep producing all these other bangers, I mean, let's look, Godzilla. It's the #1 game of all time for a reason. And it's still, the sales just crush everything. So you're still going to have people that are getting into pinball, and they're going to discover that game early on. So the rest of your games that you're bringing up, they have to be up to snuff. They have to be able to hold their own weight. And so I don't know, maybe James Bond, it might be that game come next spring, but I don't know if it's going to be that game this fall, just based off the history of how the software and how this code gets developed.
What if it's like Monsters?
Where it just shallow? It just stays shallow?
Yeah, I mean, first impressions are everything, though, too. I mean, what, like you were alluding to, Travis, but, when Monsters came out, it was like, oh my God, the artwork's amazing. And then, like, people got the game. It's like, this is it? Like,
the shot
is the
layout was
code going to
amazing.
get deeper? It's got to get deeper, right? And never did. So,
Yeah.
Nope. We all kept swimming in the shallow end. It happens.
You are in it. It isn't a shallow end. It is a kiddie pool that you are in, and stay in it and enjoy it. Yes. But some people love that game, and that's fine. And I know we've had the same conversation with Toy Story, that if they've designed the game that they needed to, but I also know that there are plenty of people that bought Toy Story because it was Toy Story, Pat Lawler, they're all in, they get it. And then now they're trying to sell that 12,000 plus game, and they're sitting at $11,000. I mean, people are losing money on Toy Story, and that's weird. I mean, there's very few games that people are losing money on these days. And obviously nobody wants that with Bond, especially with such significant price increases that have been put in place. But Tom, did you own Guardians and Stranger Things day one? Did you ride it from the beginning?
No. Actually, I played them out on location. I didn't like them, just like Travis was alluding to before. I hated Guardians the first time I played it. I absolutely hated Stranger Things the first time I played it. I was hitting that Demogorgon, and I was like, what the hell? Nothing's going on. Yeah. The game.
I get you, man. Yeah. That's what he felt. Yeah. That's what he really felt. Yeah. No.
But, but as time went on and I got to play more fleshed out code, the games really grew on me. And that's when I wanted to own them. And, both games are in my front room, Yeah. So, but, I mean, I appreciate them now, but at the time when they first came out, I thought, no, this is not what I'm expecting out of a pinball machine.
It's weird. It's just this is the first, I mean, I know when Godzilla came out, it just blew, like everybody was blown away. And so we were all sitting like, good luck to whoever's releasing the next game. And then I think Rush really surprised people. I mean, really surprised people when it came out. You obviously have diehard Rush fans like Tom that are in regardless. But then Ray Day and Timmy, what they did with the code, really people are like, holy crap, this game is something. This game really is something. So here we are. I'm not saying it's a dud. It's just this is the first time that we've had a reveal that just seems lukewarm. And people have a lot of faith in Gomez, myself included. I'm excited to play it. I think I'm excited to feel the layout and see how it flips. But because it is Lonnie, I think people are like, all right, well, buckle up. It's probably going to be a little while before this game really gets to where it's gonna end up. And So
Yeah.
you know what? Hey, if you're not getting your game till April of next year, it may be better. You may actually enjoy it more when you get it because they have more time to flesh it out. So
I,
we'll see. Still no announcement on stream. We did talk about like, would it make sense to have it at Expo? And we kind of all said maybe not, because if this is where the code's at, maybe you don't want people to have a bad first impression.
yeah, I think a lot of people would be disappointed if it wasn't at Expo, but if it's just not ready, probably
Yeah.
not a good idea. That happened with Batman 66, right?
Yeah.
It was like it was like a museum piece, you know, you could stare at it, the Super LE with the
Yep.
rope around it, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there's a bunch of them on the showroom floor or not. And
And I don't mind that at all either. If they just have an LE there just to show off, or a premium there just to say, hey, here's the game, even if people can't play it, I don't mind that necessarily. Just because if the code isn't ready, then it's just not ready. But
Mhm.
if you feel like it's ready for go time and you want it to be played by people, then by all means put it out, and the people in the market will have their say. You know, they'll speak with their bank accounts.
Well, you know, when you turn the game on, it says what code, where they're at. And obviously, we're Stern, they list it as 1.0 means feature complete. So if there's an insert on the, like Godzilla just got to 1.0, and that's because there was an insert dead center that said King of the Monsters. There was no King of the Monsters wizard mode yet. So now that every insert on the game has it's feature complete, that's 1.0. So I think everybody would take everybody would just take a big deep breath if we learned that James Bond code is at like 0.55 or something, but if they come out and it shows that it's at 0.87 or something, 87, it's like, wait, what? You're almost 90%, I don't know.
I mean, it's a tough thing. And the thing with code and with coming up with rules is that Stern has, and this goes for every other company as well, everybody has different teams. And so you're going to have different teams. They're going to have different strengths, different weaknesses. They're going to work together in different ways. So it's just one of those things that I think, obviously, we're in the era to where you're dealing with games that are designed by Keith Elwin, and the rule set is by Keith Elwin. I mean, just a tremendous mind. So you get a tremendous game. You're in the era of having Tim Sexton and Raymond Davidson be able to figure out a rule set, figure out a code, and get it fleshed out quickly and efficiently from a high level understanding of what makes pinball fun. And so it doesn't mean to say that nobody else knows how to do that, because lots of people's games are fun. There's some Dwight Sullivan games out there that are fun, just like we talked about where Guardians and Stranger Things went. They ended up being fun. So people just work at different rates, different speeds. And I think that's the one thing I would tell everybody out there, that if they're seeing this and they're thinking, okay, the code is bare bones, just keep that in mind. It's not an excuse. It's just the reality of what the situation is. And Stern has always shown that they'll put a game out. When it's ready to go out, they just put it out. And sometimes the code will be more fleshed out than other times. But that being said, me as a consumer, yeah, I would love for the code to be it doesn't have to be near complete, because of course you can make adjustments, but I would like it to have some depth from day one. I mean, I can't imagine buying a game on PC or console to where it doesn't feel like the game's complete.
Yeah.
And that's me just spending $60, let alone trying to spend $7,000 to $12,000.
Yeah, Elgato's back. Elgato no signal, man. Yep. No, the only thing that I know for a fact though is I feel like there is depth in this game just because of inserts. When you look at the inserts, it looks like there's 7 main bosses, 7 mini flip. He's flipping us off. It looks like there's a lot of inserts on this game. So there should be a good amount of code here, but how long that's going to take, I don't know. So for all you Bond fans, hopefully we can all be patient through this whole thing. Maybe this game will get fleshed out sooner than later. But if you're an LE buyer, it's probably a weird feeling. Are you in? You out? What are you doing? And I feel bad for you, kinda, because I mean, if you're an LE buyer, I don't know. It's hard to. I try to relate to Tom, and that's about as much as I can relate to with the elitists.
I'm getting pro.
I know. Yeah. You're a man of the people.
The game's going to get complete eventually, regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, Stern, they haven't abandoned a game completely since what, like WWE maybe.
I mean,
'Cause I know-
every game's gotten to 1.0, right?
Oh, you haven't played WWE, Joel.
Oh, then no.
You haven't lived yet.
Yeah.
But that being said, like this day and age, I mean, these games do get complete eventually. So it's
Yeah.
like, if you're in on an LE, be confident about that. I mean, be happy with your purchase. And yeah, like I said, maybe the rule set might not be as deep day one. It might not be deep come the third month, but it will get there eventually.
Yeah. I don't know. Any other thoughts? On what we've seen so far on Bond?
Let's play it and see how it is.
Let's wait and see. Yeah.
I mean,
great idea.
but Tom just alluded to something I think is interesting. So, Tom, since you usually get LEs,
Yeah.
what convinced you to go the pro route this
I
time
just
around?
didn't-
Since obviously you're routing the game, but
Right.
you did decide
But that
not to
wasn't
get an
the
LE.
reason.
So,
Yeah, I just didn't think there was enough in the game to justify the cost jumping up to a premium or an LE. That was just my thinking. So, and I've bought pros in the past, but just looking at the game, the magnetic bond that brings the
Bond
ball
on a wand.
around. And then what was the other feature? Oh, the ball lock. Like ball locks, they're cool, yeah, but they don't really interest me all that much. Like I don't know. I mean,
We all know it's the mirrored back glass. I know at the end of the day, Tom,
Yeah,
all you want to do is
it's
see
that-
yourself in your pinball machine, and that's why you buy the LEs for that mirrored back
let
glass.
me tell you, the mirrored back glasses are really cool.
I know they really are. I mean, I get it. I understand why they don't sell them separately because everybody would buy one. They are really
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, they are amazing.
Yeah.
well, this touches too on an interesting subject when it comes to LEs.
Let me interrupt you just a second, Travis. What if they made mirror back glasses for pro and premium games, like as an after buy?
Everybody
would-
would buy them.
Yeah,
They buy them.
yeah.
I would buy them in a second.
They make a
hear
lot of
that,
money.
Stern? I just made you a ton of money.
But
Signature
it's
checks.
one less reason to upgrade from a premium to an LE.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because everything
fuck.
else, anti-reflective glass, you can buy. You can buy upgraded speakers. You can buy a shaker motor. It's just that is truly the only thing that you can't get.
Tom, just go on Penn side. You can join everybody else on how to like just bomb out a business with these ideas.
That
Yeah.
But so what I was going to ask you though, what could Stern do at this point to entice people to get LEs even more? Since there's been a price jump, and I've talked with some others that basically they like to have signatures, autographs, certificates. What do you
I
get?
know.
Do you get
Let me raise my
HD
hand.
glass?
Let me raise
right?
my hand. You already get
Okay.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so
Oh,
what else
Cassandra's
is there?
Okay. Yep.
The back glass, HD glass,
Right?
shaker motor,
Powder coated.
powder
armor.
coated. Okay.
And
Is
you
there
get
any like
upgraded speakers?
so this is perfect then. So you as an LE buyer,
Mhm.
what other items could be added to this in order to entice you to want to accept it at the price point where it's at currently?
I could
Not
give you
just
the-
Bond,
I
but
could
any
give you the
future LE.
Zach Many maybe thought.
Would be a topper.
Exclusive topper.
Exclusive. Yeah.
Exclusive.
kinda like,
Nobody else could have it. That's an LE.
So like the
Right?
Attack from Mars remake, their LE
Yep.
exclusive topper.
Or
That is
or
huge.
look at the Batman Super LE.
Yeah.
You know that it has the Batman and Robin with the what do you call that? The
Batmobile
beacon.
with the bat signal.
Yeah. No, not the bit. Well, yeah, I guess I did have that, but the beacon in the middle or whatever, the red light.
Tom, like you like
Your
left.
camera's
and then
just
came back
freezing up. That's
and
why.
just gibberish. We'll see how that sounds on audio. But
No wonder
No,
Tom can't
yeah.
afford an LE anymore. He's got to pay for internet.
So an exclusive topper, that was my, there's already people that are like, if you're paying that, you should get the topper, you should get the banner. Truth is, Tom's buying the banner and the topper regardless. But if it was exclusive,
I'm not buying banners. What are you talking
you have
about?
a banner I can see behind you.
I won that freaking thing.
You're not gonna buy a Rush banner.
I traded my Guns N' Roses banner.
For a Rush, okay. But you'll
So
get the topper. You're going to buy the
what
topper
if
regardless.
what if they threw a banner in with the entire team signing it?
Oh yeah,
What
that'd
about
be
that?
awesome.
Like I think that would be cool. I wish they would do something like that because I like the idea that they have the credits on the game and everything, that they're given, credit where credit's due to the entire team. I would like to have a banner if I get an LE of everybody's signature that worked on the game. Like, to me, that would be pretty cool to put up in the
That's
game
pretty
room.
cool idea.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There you go, Stern. Right. I mean, you say that though, and I'm pretty sure all the LEs are sold out right now of James Bond. So it's not like
No.
they're sitting on a shelf.
They're,
right?
they're not
Yeah.
they're not sold out, Joel. Everybody
Well,
keeps
they're
They're
saying
sold
that.
out to distributors.
All the distributors
Yes.
have them.
Okay.
And,
I want to
most-
dispel this
Okay.
this groupthink that always happens. The LEs do not sell out day one. They're sold out through distributors and dealers. But there's always, like, I keep seeing posts on Facebook and everything that talks about how, everybody's put down their deposits and there's all these long lines and everything like that. It's like, no, that's not reality. Not every company out there or every dealer out there has a list of people. I can tell you straight up, we don't do that. And it's not saying that that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just putting it out there that, hey, here's the reality of it. Somebody just bought a Mando LE new in box just 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Think about that from a distributor that still had it. So it's like everybody thinks that these games get sold out instantly. Some of them might, like a Godzilla, like some of them might be very, very hard to find or might be priced a little bit higher, but
A little bit.
they're always out there. If you search
Some-
around, you'll find one. Yeah.
Some may be, priced higher is usually the case. But no, you're right. It's not like all the LEs are already in somebody's home. They are. If you really
No.
want one, you could probably find one.
Oh yeah. Like I can tell you straight up, we still have some LEs left. So it's like some people still do. It depends.
But honestly, if I was a huge Bond fan, I probably would have gotten LE, but I'm not.
No,
Why
it's
aren't
hard.
you a huge Bond fan, Tom?
Why am I not?
Yeah, why are you not?
I just haven't seen a lot of the movies. That's all.
He doesn't like popping bubbles and,
You don't like diamonds,
and
Tom?
the diamond
I
sound.
don't really like martinis.
Okay, no, wait, I do. I just remembered, guys. I take it back. We did watch more Bond than just a couple of minutes. I forgot the Loser Kids sent us that video of what was it, James Bond getting attacked by a snake
Yeah.
or something like that. And I was
Yeah.
very confused because he was shaving while he was in, the bathtub or whatever, but he had like less of a beard than
Mhm.
what I can grow. So I didn't understand what was going on in that scene.
It
made
wasn't
no
his
sense
first
to me.
take. That's the problem. He shaved it off in the first take, and then when he went to kill the snake, I don't.
Why didn't they CGI his beard on there
They
or
didn't have
something?
CGI back then. What are you talking
Well,
about?
they could like glued it on there or something,
Yeah.
right?
I don't
Golly,
know.
these lazy movie producers nowadays. Jeez.
Well, yes, James Bond. Wait and see. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm still excited to see it, but I will say now that this reveal's kind of out of the way and we're kind of waiting and seeing, one game that I am actually excited for is Galactic Tank Force. I don't know why. I saw a little bit of the
GTF.
art. Yeah, I saw a little bit of the art at the what was it, the super awesome pinball tailgate party or whatever. I saw just a random picture of it, and it looks campy. And like, to me, I don't know. I like humor in a game, so I can't wait to get my Galactic Tank Force lunchbox. That's really what I'm waiting on.
What?
And we'll
And go to work with it.
yeah,
with your
we'll just have to I work from
Galactic
home.
Tank
It'll be
Force
great.
thermos in it.
Yeah, I'll make myself a sandwich, put it in the box, and immediately take it back out. Yeah,
Hey, it could
Yeah.
be a great game. You never
it could
know,
be. It could be. Looking forward to it.
know?
American Pinball makes tanks. See that
They do. They do make-
yeah, a tank of a game
They're-
usually.
yes,
Yeah, I
they'll
had
be
a Hot
building a tank.
Wheels and it had some issues at the very beginning, but they helped me through it immediately. And after that, like it worked perfectly fine, and it was a fun game overall. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what Galactic Tank Force will be.
I'm with
Maybe
you.
it might be something campy like Attack from Mars.
I
something
hope
like
so.
that.
I hope so. And it's Dennis Nordman, so it's he's made some great unlicensed games, and let him run with it. I don't know. I'm genuinely looking forward to the game. No idea what I'm gonna see, but I hope it's good. And we're just I have no idea timeline there too.
What do you want to see, Joel? What do you
I
want to
just want
see
it
out
to
of
be
that
fun.
game?
Like, I want fun audio. I want it to be campy. I want it to be humorous. You said Attack from Mars. That's a great example Like that is what I'm finding. I don't like super serious games. So the thing's already called Galactic Tank Force. If this is galactic, it's in space. Tanks, when you think of a tank, it has treads. Why do you need a vehicle that has treads in space? Like already, just
it
from the
might be
title, it
like
Maybe
sounds
it's all
absurd.
fought on a moon base.
Yeah,
That's,
Joel.
which sounds
You
great.
think of
I
that?
mean, this has
Have you ever seen the
potential.
Mars rover, Joel? Jeez.
Yeah, but it didn't. The Mars rover wasn't flying through space. It was in a rocket. I don't know. Anyways,
Why
we're
do you
already-
think that?
we
What,
know
hold on.
nothing.
Why does this tank have to be flying right now?
Yes.
Because I think
what
of
tanks
Galactic.
fly?
It's not lunar tank force. It's galactic. I'm just thinking. We don't know. We don't know.
Well,
but
what's
it's
the
just-
definition of galactic? Maybe we're wrong.
Is this a word you didn't learn in Oklahoma? I mean, what's
No, it says relating to a galaxy or galaxies,
yeah?
especially the Milky Way. I don't know. Maybe it's like a giant tank, Joel.
I
That's
know,
like
it just
bigger
seems
than the Milky
ridiculous.
Way.
It seems
Maybe when
ridiculous.
tanks
do you-
fly.
Yeah. Do you think Dennis Nordman goes walking into David Fix and he's like, "Here's the deal. I'm ready to go. This is my game. What do you want? What do you want to do? I love tanks and I love space. Let's do it." And they just goes. I don't know, and I don't care because if the game's awesome, I'm
$1 million decisions like
yeah,
that.
if the game's awesome, let's do it. And then he goes to Franchi. Franchi, do you want to draw art for Galactic Tank Force? He goes, let's do it. Let's make the lunchbox. He's in. I'm in. I'm ready to go. I think it sounds really fun.
I really hope this is the #1 game coming out.
I hope you see Godzilla right there at the top and right below it, Galactic Tank Force. Because why not? I mean, to me, it's just some of these licenses. I mean, I get it. Licenses sell. I totally understand it. But if this has a chance to really just blow us away, I'm ready. Load it up. I'm ready. That'll be great. So,
I'm more confused now than ever, but yet I'm more intrigued.
yeah,
now.
there you go. There you go. American Pinball, if you need me for
Will
marketing,
this
apparently
tank
I'm ready
fly?
to. I don't know nor
How
care.
did they come up with Galactic Tank Force?
That's what I'm saying. I like tanks. I like space. Let's do it. It's gonna be great. So
Man,
I don't know.
yeah.
Or it could be awful. It could be so bad.
Yeah.
It could be terrible. But you know what? I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I don't know. New pinball is always fun. So, well, there you go. There's some fun stuff there. I will.
better
Here's your
be a-
transition.
Exploding tank.
There we go. Yes.
Well, the thing is, too, if it says Galactic Tank Force,
Yeah.
that,
GTF.
that infers that there's more than one tank,
Oh,
correct?
I mean, yeah. Do you ever see a tank on a solo mission? I don't think so.
It'd be effed up if it did, right? I
Well,
mean, I
there's a
did
game-
that
what's that
back
movie?
in Call of Duty, but that's about it.
Fury with Brad Pitt. Yeah. Check that.
Fury?
movie out.
It's a movie? Is it based
FURY.
off Galactic Tank Force? Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
it's not in space. Just chuck that rocket into space.
Shit,
and
I don't
we'd be
want to
good
watch
go.
it then. If it's not based in space,
No.
I'm all in on this. You've
just-
got me
I
convinced,
just
Joel.
hope the straight down the middle guys are doing like a commercial for it, and we see Zach and Greg and like,
with a tank helmet.
yeah.
So, okay, who would mess with the Galactic Tank Force though? Like, who's the antagonist in this story? We really need. I want to flesh this out real quick because you guys got me intrigued. Before we
no
go
listener
for it.
wants this. Nobody wants.
Well,
It'll
the
be another.
people
It'll
are
be a
obvious
survival.
GTF. Who are you
Yeah.
fighting?
It'll be.
Who
It'll
are
be
you fighting
either
against?
generic
Who
aliens.
else are you gonna fight in space?
I mean,
I
if
mean,
we have
other people.
established
There might
space
be another
colonies.
human empire out there, Tom. We don't know.
Yeah.
Haven't you
know?
ever seen Moonfall? I just totally ruined that movie for people, but still,
There we
it's
go.
like
I don't know. I'm ready though. I just.
Supposedly
think it's
aliens are
aliens?
already living
I don't-
here, so
We
Joel,
don't
tell
know,
us.
Travis. I don't know. I don't
Travis,
know.
you could be an alien.
Yeah.
I mean, probably am. I don't know.
Based on how poorly he knows the English language. I
All right,
don't-
so no, we're trying to figure this out, Joel. Okay, Galactic.
There, we can't figure it out. Well, we know a title. We know Dennis Norman,
It's
Galactic
Milky
Tank
Way.
Force.
No,
and
we
I
can
think-
break this down. It means Milky Way, right?
No.
Like the Milky Way galaxy. It's just talking about. It's it's relating to it. Sorry.
Let's break it down.
relates-
Tanks in space. Done. Done.
No,
That's
a tank.
broken.
A
We
tank
weren't even supposed
force.
to talk about
Joel,
Oh,
this.
it's
force.
a team of
Multiple
tanks.
tanks in space. Nailed it. I'm ready. Let
So
me plunge
do
that
you
first
level
ball.
up your tank? You think that's what happens? Like you get
Oh,
like
you
photon
gotta.
phasers?
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. Why-
I
like,
hope there's
what
at
are we doing
least
if they
a
don't have
machine
that?
gun on it?
That'd be badass. They better have like a better be like next generation to where you have like a thing you could shoot and has a laser beam that points to where you're going at with it. That'd be
like
sweet.
a laser pointer.
You
built
know, the
into
more
the game.
you guys are
that's what a
talking
laser
about
beam
this
is,
game,
Joel.
the more
Yes.
I want it.
I told
Yeah.
you. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing
Okay.
this game. And I'm either going to be impressed or very let down. And that's fine.
So
But
we
this
can
could be
level
the
up our
new attack
tank.
from
That's what we're
Mars.
going to do. We can level up our tank, and then you can get more stuff. Now, wait. If it's a tank force, what if we're not actually the tank, but we're like the commander of the tank force?
Oh, Lord. I
So
don't want
we
to see
basically
you in a leadership position.
I mean, it's a fantasy world, Joel. We're just going to go along with this.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
We're doing stuff here, Joel. Everybody else is like GTF, all this and that. We are fleshing out the game for the
I'm
listener
just
right
saying,
now. We're figuring this out.
You give me a
Flippers.
generic theme. It's like, what do you want? Do you want a castle? Do you want some cowboys? Do you want give me galactic tank? Like, yeah, that
There's
sounds
cowboys in the game?
cool. No, yes, yeah. Let's just throw them all in there. We're fighting. We're
Like Cowboys versus aliens again.
Right.
with my tank. All right. Okay. Well, I hope we hear more. David
Are we
Fixer,
done talking about Galactic
we're
Tank
making.
Force?
I
This
don't
is
know.
completely
I'm
made
kinda
up.
interested.
No listener wants to hear three guys literally make up stuff. We're just making it up.
We're not
What do you
making up
mean?
stuff. What are you
Oh,
talking
we know-
about? I see people put rumors out all the time that I know
Yeah.
are flat out false, and I watch all of Pinball run with it. So, I mean, we might as well just go with this.
Okay. All right.
All right, you guys heard it here first. Joel said that in Galactic Tank Force, they're going to be a team, and you can level up your
Flying
tank.
tanks.
The flying tanks. It's got a laser beam pointer in it. I think Franchi actually shows up to your house every time you hit start
with the lunchbox.
with the lunchbox. Yep. And
I'm
And
dead
a
serious.
bag
So
of
what-
chalupas.
If they, I even if the game is awful, if they sell a lunchbox, I will buy it.
this game
Just-
can't be awful, Joel.
I'm
can't
just
be at this
saying
point.
there is no reason I will not buy that lunchbox. It will happen because I want somebody to be like, why do you have a lunchbox? Oh, that's a pinball machine. You don't own it? No, the game's awful. So why do you? I just want it. I just
How
want
do
it.
you know it's going to be awful?
Yeah, Joel.
I don't know
Why
it. I'm
you
just saying,
talking
even
about
if
this
it's
game?
awful, I'm
Good.
buying the lunchbox. It could be amazing. So here's the transition. We're done. We're moving out of this. We're transitioning to the next thing. The reason I'm bringing this up is my favorite game, which is sitting right next to me, is Total Nuclear Annihilation. It is
Gone.
a non-licensed theme. It's sitting right here. I have TNA merch. I made a custom TNA hat. Like, I am all in. So that's an unlicensed theme, and it's incredible. So maybe Galactic Tank Force one day will sit right next to it. I don't know.
I'm going to predict the future here.
What? That I'm gonna like Galactic Tank Force?
Yeah.
Is that what?
You're going to sell TNA to
No.
get Galactic Tank Force.
You know why I won't sell TNA?
Scott Dendisi's going to show up to his house and kick
Yeah.
him square in the nuts too when that happens.
There's two reasons why I won't sell TNA. Reason
Okay.
number one is I've sold it before. I've sold it
Oh.
before, and I know what it feels like. And I wanted it back, and I got it back. So I'm not making that mistake again. And
I'm going
reason
to
number
two
two,
Judge Dreads and 2 Starship Troopers.
the reason
I'm embarrassed.
number
to say
two is my name is now officially in the game.
that.
Yeah, thank you for the jazz hands, Travis. Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
I'm late to the party. Tom's initials are in the Rush code. Travis's initials are in the Led Zeppelin code.
Oh, which you
Yeah.
didn't know about.
Which I didn't know because
until
what?
a couple hours ago.
Yeah,
Right?
I
This
came into
a-hole
our
was trying to make fun of me. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about right now?
I came into our group chat. I'm like, Tom and I are over here, with our names in a game. How you doing, Travis? He's like, my name's in Zeppelin. I was like, oh crap.
No,
But,
actually,
anyways.
I defended Travis's honor there.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
So, I mean, huge shout out. I think Ray Day and Tim were involved in getting both of your names in there. But I know Scott. Scott is an awesome dude, super nice, and I've been working with him or talking with him for quite a while now. And yes, at the end of the day, what's happened is Scott is working on new code or adding. He is constantly adding to this game. So, being that Spooky has these literally on the line or about to be on the line, he's trying to put more in the game. So one thing that he actually coded in the game is a jukebox mode. So if the game's in free play, you can just walk up to it, hold both flippers in for 5 seconds, and boom, you now have a jukebox with arguably some of the best music in pinball. If you just want to
Rush.
rock out, yeah, just rock out, you can. So I think that's awesome. But what's really, really cool is back, I don't know, a year plus a while ago, I was actually watching Chuck Wirt on Straight Down the Middle play big games. and he has a custom ROM in Big Games where when he hits the spinner, I saw on one of the other displays, it was counting. It was big game. Yeah.
Yes.
It was counting how many spins or spinner rip, like when you rip the spinner, how many spins you actually get. And I was like, that is awesome. So he's like, oh yeah, the best I've ever had is whatever, 41 or 70, whatever it was. It's just like, it was a game within a game. So at the time I saw it, I immediately messaged Scott and I was like, Scott, I don't know if you know this, but in some of these older games, there are people that make custom ROMs and they add that feature of a spinner rip like feature. And I think that's awesome. You know, TNA has a left spinner. You should add that to your game. And he was like, not a bad idea. I'll put it on the list. And as time went on, I randomly would bring it up here and there in conversations with Scott. And Scott actually pulled one on me because he said, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it in the game. I was like, oh, okay. That's, you know, it's fine. It's his game. I'm not. And then lo and behold, I'm actually doing some beta code testing for him. And he shows me that he did put it in the game. So now it tracks when you hit the spinner, you'll see on screen, it'll say spinner rip and it'll count how many you have. And my name, Joel Bob, is the default spinner rip. So I'm officially in the game.
Are you supposed
You're
to
welcome.
be telling everybody this stuff?
Yeah, it's released. It's beta codes.
Okay.
It's out there right now. You could go download
So
it right now.
what you're saying is, Joel, is you beat Scott down enough with your
Wore him
conversation
out. Just
that he finally
wore him
said,
out.
I was
Yep.
thinking the same thing, Travis.
I need to get rid of this guy. I'll just put Joel Bob in the game.
Just wore him out. Just I got to put it in the game. No, he's it's been really cool. Like I've done some other stuff with him, and he's such a nice guy, super humble. I mean, I love his game, and yes, it was really neat. I mean, he asked some other stuff. He's like, hey, one thing that TNA also has is when you hit the mystery award, it'll flash, like scroll through mystery awards, and a bunch of them you can't get, like they're jokes. Like game over, like they're jokes. So he's like, do you have any suggested, mystery award stuff? So he's all about making this game as fun as possible. So props to him. Even now, I don't know if Scott will technically ever be done with the TNA code. It's like clearly his baby, and he continues to want to make it even better and better. I actually replaced the display up in the core, the upper area, where it now has 2 extra LEDs. So he added more lights. I mean, it's just, he's constantly adding to this game. So I wanted to say that. So thank you, Scott, if you happen to be listening. Absolutely. I mean, thank you so much for putting that in game. I think that's awesome. Otherwise, hey, if you update your TNA and you see my name, now you have something to beat. So have fun.
So now what we're saying is, because we have our initials or our names in different games.
Yep.
Do we have a Triple Drain logo?
No.
On any of the codes or anything?
I mean, yeah, if anybody from Stern wants to put one in, let me know. I will make that graphic for you as soon as you want, and you can put it in the game. Well, that'd be great. Yeah.
Might as well just beg. Just beg now.
Please,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Who do we have the best chance with? I don't know. Right, Keith? Somebody, please. Yeah.
I don't know. What game do we need to shill? I don't think we're going to be on the Bond one.
No.
Probably deep. Probably Deep Root.
I don't know. But hey, well, speaking of logo, this is actually kind of big. This is where we're going to get a little shilly. When we formed Triple Drain, it was kind of like, let's do this. Well, my undergrad was graphic design. I literally over like one evening just kind of put together a logo for us real quick, tried to put together something so that when the first episode came out, it seemed somewhat professional. And we've been rolling with that logo. We actually have merch on Silverball Swag with that logo. I think we've sold like 5 shirts, and 2 of those shirts were Tom and I, but that's fine. And for the people that did buy it, thank you. I think that's incredible. Thank you for the support and buying that logo. But I, as an artist, have always been somewhat embarrassed of it and wanted cooler merch. I really wanted cooler stuff. Well, Jackson Gee actually did all the Yegpin art. And Yegpin was a really awesome tournament up in Canada, and I saw that art and it blew me away. I was like, who is this artist? This is all new art in the pinball world. And I immediately reached out to him, and I was just like, hey, is there any way you listen to Triple Drain? And he responded back quick, like, yes, I actually really enjoy the podcast. It's fantastic. So we started up a conversation. I started talking with Travis and Tom, and I was like, guys, would you be willing or interested in putting in money towards actually designing some official Triple Drain merch? And we were like, sure, let's do it. So It wasn't cheap. Jackson definitely worked with us on that. It wasn't cheap, but we are happy to do it. And I will tell you, he blew us away with the final result. So now we actually have a new logo as well as a really cool graphic of us being like a 3-headed Hydra, which, you know, if you look at each head, it's kind of clear who's who. And overall, I love it. I'm stoked. I'm currently working with Will at Silverball Chronicles to get everything figured out. So by the time this podcast airs, it should be there. If you go to Silverball Swag, I say Silverball Chronicles. I am so sorry for insulting that website by saying that. Awful podcast. But Silverball Swag, if you go to silverballswag.com and go to Triple Drain, you should see all of our new stuff. So we have the Hydra shirt, we have our normal logo, both white and full color. If you guys see anything and there's any particular apparel that you want, if you want a Triple Drain shower curtain, let me know. I can make that happen. But overall, I don't know. You guys were basically like, Joel, you work with Jackson on this, and I was happy to. What an awesome dude to work with. But I don't know, your initial impressions by seeing even just the sketches and stuff that he had sent in.
I liked it.
I liked it also.
Yeah, what I'm realizing is I was the picky one. I was the one like, what about this? And could you tweak this? And I don't know. I respect the heck out of him. So 1, for his patience for working with me, and 2, I mean, just the overall final product he produced is fantastic. So if there's any other content creator, whether it's in pinball or not, definitely reach out to Jackson Gee, Gee, Jackson Gee. Otherwise, just check out his website. The guy actually has some really amazing art, a lot of retro stuff, like older movies, stuff that he's recreated. There's like Deadpool stuff, X-Men stuff, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, a whole bunch of cool posters and stuff. So check him out. He's also working on a pinball focused clothing line that he hasn't announced yet, but when he does, I will definitely mention that. So he has other pinball related apparel that he's going to make. So definitely check out that merch. Feel free to buy it. If you do, you know, wear it, tag us in it or whatnot. But hey, any support would be awesome. But truthfully, I just want more Jackson Key artwork out in the world. And I'm just happy that it happens to be Triple Drain specific. So there you go. There's shill number 1. And I'm trying to figure out, Travis is very particular on his hat and Tom is very particular on his t-shirt. So hopefully we're going to get, you know, nice quality apparel for everybody to enjoy. Shill number 2. Patreon. We've talked about this a lot. We've actually talked about this a lot. And if anybody listening right now tunes out, I understand. But the truth is that doing the podcast takes time. I mean, the 3 of us have to coordinate a time. We usually record for, roughly 2 hours. After the podcast is over, I usually edit, and it takes at least as long for me to edit it. Normally an additional hour on top of that. So another 2 hours of editing plus an additional hour. So I don't know, minimum every episode, we're looking at like 5+ hours worth of work. And it's fun work. I know I enjoy it. Tom enjoys it. Travis, he loves it. I can tell.
I'm here. Yep.
I'm here. Well, and I will say, when we have people that come to us in a show or at a tournament and say they enjoy the podcast or the message, we get emails or Facebook, like truly that means the world to us. When we hear people say, we love what you're doing, or we've enjoyed we're laughing with you guys, like, or you can laugh at us. I don't care. But if we're bringing joy and positivity into this hobby, I'm happy I'm a part of it and happy to do the work. And what it is Patreon is a website that's meant for creators, for a way for you to support them. So feel free to go. If you go to patreon.com, Patreon is Patreon. If you go to patreon.com and search Triple Drain, we're going to be the only Triple Drain Pinball podcast. It's right there. And you have the ability to basically select a tier. And it's just a financial amount, whatever you want to throw us or support us with. Travis's camera went out again. So whatever you were going to say, throw another $1 in so we can actually get this guy some working equipment. But the truth is, that's perfect timing. All of this equipment we bought out of our own pocket. Even just paying a good artist for quality merch, all that came out of our pocket. And, we're happy to be a part of this podcast. But hey, if anybody listening wants to support us in that, what we will tell you is any money we make, it just goes right back into the podcast. So whether it's for better merch or to improve the equipment that we have or anything like that, that's our goal right now. So any money that we make on Patreon, truthfully, step number 1 is just pay off the bill that we just accumulated by designing new merch. But once we get through that, we'll be honest. We'll be happy to share that. So the goal is not to try to put Travis's kids through college. I mean,
or his anime porn habit.
Yeah. But But my thought is like, I would love to do a giveaway, send somebody a comfy, or try to get, how do we get Keith Elwin a Triple Drain shirt so he can wear it at the next tournament he's at, that kind of stuff. It's just, we want to have more fun. But at the end of the day, we're already putting forth a lot of time, a lot of work.
Needs more LEs.
Yeah, Tom needs more LEs. Yes. But it's hard to justify putting in more money into this, it's fun.
You give us money, Tom buys LE.
Please give us money so we can keep, having a good time. But so it's there, patreon.com, Triple Drain. We already, to be honest, this has gone live already. We did a Facebook announcement. It was on Pinside. And we already have, I think we're currently at 13 people. And that
it's like 800 now, I think, right?
You're just paying Joel and I to deal with Travis.
And that's good. I think that's a valid reason. I think it's a valid reason. So 13 people, that is awesome. Like, I was so humbled by seeing that in the first 2 days. It's absurd. Like, even the fact that there are 13 people that would support us. What I will say, I mean, we don't usually share numbers on TPN, but I know this, every one of our podcasts gets well over 2,000 listens. And that's awesome. Like, it's absurd to me that there's 2,000 plus people that want to hear the three of us talk. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't want to listen to Travis talk.
It could be the same 5 people just hitting play on
just
loop.
over and over again. I don't know, but it's across the world, which is insane to me. So if you're listening and supporting and enjoying this show, thank you. Thank you for listening to us babble. But here, for the diehard fans, feel free. Patreon's out there. How I told myself is, I have a few podcasts, like Eclectic Gamers podcast is one of them. The Pinball Show is one of them, that every single time it hits my podcatcher, I basically drop what I'm doing and I'm listening to it. And if we happen to be at that level for you guys, feel free to join the Patreon. That's all I can say. There's my shill. There's my pitch. And Travis has quite a weird, what are you?
I'm making sure that your pants aren't like too tight right now.
Travis's mind right now.
It's absurd to me that I'm sitting in a basement in Indiana. Travis is in Wisconsin. Not Travis. Tom's in Wisconsin. Travis is in St. Louis. Travis is literally sitting in a closet. He's in a closet. Okay. And the three of us are rambling, and there's over 2,000 plus people that want to hear it. That's crazy to me. I think it's awesome. So thank you for all of our listeners and supporters. I think it's incredible.
What Joel is trying to tell everybody out there, thank you. That's what he's trying to say.
I think I did.
In his Joel way.
Yes.
I'm worried for you right now. You're getting so fired up right now. You're like, what people can't see, you got like a giant smile on your face while you're saying it.
It's
like
awesome.
You're in total disbelief.
I mean, I enjoy streaming. Tom, you've streamed some major tournaments, and when you look down and you see that, close to 200 or 200 more people are watching your stream, and now all of a sudden people are gifting subs. Like, that's something streaming and Twitch does incredibly well. You can do bits, you can do subs, you can like support the stream. Thank you for this 7+ hours of entertainment that you've been giving me today. It's awesome that it's built in. Podcasting, there isn't anything like that. So that's where Patreon steps in, and I'm telling you, it's the three of us looking at each other and rambling. So when we get that outside feedback, it's always surprising to me. It's always surprising.
The pinball industry happens to have some pretty cool people in it. I think that's what you're saying.
Yes. And
yes. Oh, cool people. Yeah. Like 99.9% outside of David Dennis. They're all really cool.
Which somebody actually asked that. They're like, what happened? Did something? I defended it on Pinside. Feel free to check it out.
We're
yes,
just
Tom,
joking about David Dennis.
He's Tom, as a streamer that streams large tournaments, it is incredibly humbling when you get that type of feedback.
Oh, absolutely. It's awesome.
Makes you feel like you have friends. So we'll have to tell Travis what that's like.
Makes you feel good.
Wow. I've been nice to you, Joel, for like at least the past 2 minutes.
You've been on a good behavior the last two episodes. But
hey, Tom, get your little thing ready. Hey, you ready?
Wait 1 second.
Oh, he's gonna cuss me.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck you, Joel. Oh, we missed it.
It only works when you put whatever. Anyways, all right. So that's the end of my shill. So yes, check out our merch on Silverball Swag. Check out our Patreon just search Triple Drain. You'll find it. There are other Patreons out there for other cool podcasts like Eclectic Gamers, and Silverball Chronicles made one too. So yeah, just support whoever you want. If you don't, that's fine. We'll love you just the same. So that's point number 5. Point number 6. I'm handing it off.
There's a number 6.
Well, I forgot the number 6, but look at the last one. I'm handing it off to Tom. Tom, you got something big coming up next week.
Yeah, the Pinball Super Series at District 82 Pinball. It's going to be awesome. 6 tournaments. A lot of pinball Thursday through Sunday. Starting Thursday night at 5 p.m. So there's a knockout tournament. There's a bunch of knockouts and match play tournaments, but it's something you really got to check out. So basically, we're all playing in these tournaments, and it's a series. So depending on how well you do over the 6 tournaments, we add up basically points towards your ranking in each tournament, and you can win money. So
there we go.
Actually, Eric is paying out the top 20 people, and the pinball company is helping out by helping pay the top 3 people as well in the series. So it's really cool.
And you'll be streaming it, Fox Cities, I assume?
I will definitely be streaming it on Fox Cities Pinball on Twitch.
Fantastic.
I think there will be around 88 to 90 whoppers. Is that what it is for first place? Estimated.
First place. And I think there's like 152 people signed up, something like that. With a bunch of people still on the wait list.
I think it was something like 45 or 48 of the top 100 players.
Yeah.
Are signed up for this.
It's something crazy like that. I mean, that's like a major right there.
Yeah, there's going to be some tough competition.
No, that sounds awesome. That sounds really, so I know basically anybody from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, there will be plenty of awesome high-end pinball to watch on Twitch. So Fox Cities Pinball, check it out. Show them some love. Throw them those bits and those subs and all that. Should be a good time. I know the 2 of you obviously are playing in it, so good luck with that. And
I wouldn't exactly call it playing,
but yeah. Well, no.
What are you talking about, Tom? I'm going to win all 6 tournaments.
I kind of figured that. That's what I was saying.
I don't know why everybody else is even showing up. Jeez.
All right. Well, I think that's it. I know we wanted to record a quick one, really just to quick one, an hour and a half, just to share our thoughts on Cleepin, Bond. We wanted to mention Super Series and all that. So anything
but mainly
else
to sell our merch. We really wanted to do that.
Just
so
yeah. We're hoping we're pulling on the
chilling.
heartstrings, and everybody's like, do I really need that cup of coffee?
Right. You don't need that cup of coffee.
The LE?
Tom needs his LE. You don't need coffee. Tom needs his LE.
Jeez, God. We're going to go down. We have 13. We're going to go down patrons at this point.
Yeah, and send us an email to tripledrain@gmail.com. Let us know what you guys think.
Well, what is funny is on Patreon, if you do unsubscribe to somebody, you're supposed to give a reason why. I can't wait for the first reason to be like, Tom doesn't need an LE. That's all they write. All right. Well, let's roll. Let's wrap it up. Unless Tom, did you have anything particular you wanted to say? I can hit the button if you need your cue.
No, I'm good. I already talked.
All right, then we'll just do the outro.
Tom talked. He had something to say. Tom talked. He had nothing to say. Tom talked. Tom talked.
I got nothing. Travis is giving me the evil eye.
Travis is confused.
Yeah, I am. Joel, so Joel, for sure, you know which Twitch stream to watch this upcoming weekend for tournament pinball, right?
Okay. All right. I'm just going to get ahead of this. Okay. I'm just going to steal your thunder.
I'm just asking.
I'm
just asking you a
that
question.
Carl D'Angelo streams tournaments on IE Pinball. Okay. I get it. I just didn't realize that, what was it? Pinball Lab or whatever that was?
Pinball at the Lab.
Pinball at the Lab.
Joel,
I didn't realize
Pinball at the
Lab equals Carl D'Angelo. That's what I missed. So somebody's like, you got to watch Pinball at the Lab. I said, what's the stream? And Chuck Work comes in with this quick quip of like, oh, what a sad day for somebody not to know who Carl D'Angelo was. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, yeah. So yes, got it. I got any other dig you want to make?
No, I was just
Super
making
Series,
sure
Fox
you
Series
knew
Pinball.
like Super Series. I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
making
yeah,
sure
yeah.
you knew,
Yeah,
you know, what to watch.
Hey,
That's all.
wait, hey, feel free to plug Travis something that I can see your
Fox Series
content.
Pinball. Fox Series Pinball. You can see me on there.
No, Travis, where do we see your content? What do you have to plug?
I'm on this shitty
Yeah, nothing.
podcast.
He
What
got
are you
nothing.
talking
He's got
about?
nothing to
Come on
plug.
here.
Travis has nothing to plug. Okay. Yes.
I plug Triple Drain every single time.
Yeah, nobody
Out
needs
of the
plugged
three
on
of
something.
us,
Yeah.
have you noticed out of the three of us, I'm the only one that plugs
They're
our
already
stuff.
listening to the show, Travis.
Well,
That's like
neither here nor
Tom
there. You
getting
got
to
to keep
Super
them coming
Series
back.
and being like, "Hey guys, have you heard about Super Series?" And they're like, "We're here. We're already freaking here."
Okay, well, you word it like that, it makes sense, but still, you know.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Well,
I'm
Travis,
gonna-
thanks for
I'm
being
going
here.
to try that, but I'm going to do it to Luke.
You're gonna do it, Luke.
All right,
Like,
Tom.
hey, have you heard about Super Series? Yeah.
Tom, feel free to plug, man.
I think I already did, but you can find me at Fox Cities Pinball
Oh,
on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
all the things. Yeah.
All the stuff. But
Yeah, and I'm Joel.
damn
I
it,
stream
I
on.
will not do TikTok.
Good. Yeah, I know.
At least
and
yet.
then I stream for the Pinball Network every Wednesday night from 10 to midnight Eastern Standard Time. And then, yeah, check out the chatting streams. We had a really fun chatting stream. It's on YouTube about the Bond reveal. That was a good time. Then I stream for Flipping Out every other Thursday. I do this silly podcast, and I have my own podcast, just another Pinball podcast that I haven't done in a while, but hopefully we'll record an episode sometime soon. But if you don't
already
know,
burn that bridge.
well, if you don't know, when Stern releases a new game, they don't talk to media for a month. Like, that's their new rule. So if everybody's going, "Where's the Bond info?" A month. It's like there's a word for that. But
Well, that only makes sense because they're trying to get you to
Yeah.
buy their all access.
Insider Connect, which I did,
With
which
Nate
I
Shivers.
did. You get a cool coin.
Nate
but-
Shivers is better than Joel.
Wait, you got a
anyway.
what?
You get a coin.
Oh, just-
You get like this little. It was like gold. It was a cool coin.
You missed out on the coin?
Yeah, I didn't get a coin.
I got a
Yeah,
coin.
well,
Is this like the $39.99 thing?
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe it's like new. I used to be a member. I don't
Well,
think
hey,
I am
maybe
anymore.
if we get enough Patreon money that we can pay off our art bill, and then
and
maybe
Tom's
we'll
next
put
LE,
that towards.
and then
Maybe we'll put that towards Insider Connect accounts for all of us, so we can stay on top of the news. You know, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Travis, for being here, and Tom, you get the last words.
Hey, see you later.